Welcome to World on the Move.
What's cracking, y'all?
What's cracking, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Tell me what we're talking about today. Queen.
We are talking about the hard truths, finding strength in acceptance. But first, before we even go any further, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How you feeling?
I'm a little bit frustrated. We didn't have a time this week.
Yo, when I tell y'all, we need to just have a specific video about just the tech issues that just all of a sudden popped up. Man, it's been going down, man. That's all I know. But y'all still getting what we told y'all you was gonna get. You still gonna get 2 videos a week. Nothing is changing. It's just as we get better, we gotta level up. And some old things just gotta become new.
Okay, so you see a different background only because we are still in our studio. We're just in a different direction.
Yeah.
The computer is doing what the computer do, doing all the things.
Tell me, you had it. What is it called? You had a factory reset.
Yeah, I had to do a factory reset on the computer. Then we lost the sound. We're not using our mics today. We're using the phone. So we are learning together.
Man.
And all of the scheduling and the schedule was perfect, but the tech issues was the problem. So anyway, we're gonna shoot 2 videos today. So you're gonna get 2 podcasts this weekend. Today is Saturday, November 1st. So you're gonna get 2 podcasts on today because we're working through our first podcast. We dealt about consistency. We're going to be consistent. So
even when it hurts.
Even when it hurts.
Like, y'all, let me tell you, we recorded a podcast like last week, right? And it was great. Like, we vibed out more professionalism, but also more realism. We vibed out for real. Like, it was very, very great. Like, I knew that we did something great, and we found something great the second after we filmed it. Tell me why the sound was gone.
There was no sound on the video.
No sound.
At all. No sound. My heart ache.
My heartache is sick, right? I ain't even.
All right, so that's how I truly feel, and this is how it went down. But let's move forward. Thank you for listening to what's going on with World on the Move this week.
Hey, y'all, this is gonna be like a news station. We're gonna do World on the Move news.
All right, and I forgot my coffee, but that's okay. That's my second cup because I had my first cup already. We are dealing with the hard truths and finding strength in acceptance. Question: what's the hardest truth you ever had to accept in your life?
I would say the hardest truth that I would have to accept in my life is that I would never have that, I call it the figure 4 family. What I mean is, go on TV, you see all these big families, you even look around and see they doing meetups and stuff like that, and you see their closeness and togetherness. And I do have closeness and togetherness with people in my family, but it's not, it's not the way you really think that it'll go.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's what you had to realize is if it don't bear fruit, run away. Which means if it doesn't benefit you, if it continues to hurt you, if it continues to bring you down, just because that's your family don't mean you should stay in that situation.
Oof.
So that's what I feel like, because that's something that I wanted from having, my mom and dad getting divorced. I was a dad's boy, so I wanted my dad always around. I wanted to be like the people going on TV, doing the barbecues and all that. I wanted that. I wanted, I have a big enough family, but not all of us get along. I go with every family. So, there's certain things that you want that eventually you're going to have to stop lying to yourself and start protecting your peace.
Oof. Oh man, I think I'm going to answer that question just as real as you did. So what's the hardest truth you had to accept in your life, Brain? The hardest truth I had to accept in my life that I won't be able to have the relationship with my family the way that I envision it. That's the hardest truth. And maybe having a pre-existing thought process on how a family dynamic should be can be some of the way that I think, but also I do have some behaviors that exhibited throughout the years that allow me to know that this is not something that I want to continue because it's hurting my core family, which is my husband and I, my son, the people that stay underneath my roof, which is my core family. It's hard when you can't have a level of closeness, honesty, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness the way that you would have it with maybe somebody who didn't grow up with you, and you don't have it in your own family.
That'd be the wildest part where God send, who we need to send for us people.
Right. You want to cling on to those lasting relationships because you kind of feel lost because like we grew up together. So you know the ins and outs, you know the struggle. So I don't have to start from ground zero telling you my whole story, but it don't always turn out that way. You can't make people love you the way that you need to be loved. You can't love people the way they need to be loved. You can't make people to see the value in you. So yes, one of the hard truths is that you may never be able to have the relationship with a family member that you truly desire. And that's one of my hard truths. Normally my phone on silent, but that's what it do. Not editing it out. So yeah, I have strained relationships that I am literally living as I'm speaking to you. And it's not because of a lack of love. It's not because of we're not family. We hate each other. It really comes down to that.
Those
qualities that I look for people who I'm going to do life with. It have to empathy, compassion, love, and forgiveness. They have to be there. And if it's not there, then I don't know how we can continue forward. So yeah, that's the hard truth.
That's true.
Thank you for being real, because I don't think I probably would have chose that one because you know how certain things that you try to avoid.
Yeah.
Because it's touchy, you know what I'm saying, and then you don't want to fully expose your family members on a platform like this because you just don't. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, I'm not there yet. To start calling names out, or you know what I'm saying,
we would never do that. But what Cat Williams said in that podcast, the truth is the truth.
The truth is true.
Especially if someone that is out there that may have experienced the things that we experience, I want them to know it so they don't feel crazy for it. Mm-hmm. Maybe having to step back in certain areas.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Trudy. Thank you for pulling it out. I really do appreciate it. So we have some follow-up questions. This is to help us to continue to discuss to make sure that we stay on a path and we help our audience. How did those moments change you when you had to deal with your hard truths?
I honestly feel like it had to change me because, they say seek advice from elders, but if your elders is not acting the way, an elder that you really want advice from to act, who do you choose to go to? And I started to understand that God puts people in your life, and God has the Holy Bible. He has His Word. He has so many things that you can pull from to fill that hole and fill that void that you was missing.
I agree.
Can I go a little bit for?
Yeah, of course.
When you're 18 years old and you're going out, this is to the point where you're starting to become an adult and do everything you need to do. People go towards people they looked up to, or people they feel like will have information. But what do you do when you're young and you know that there's a lot you need to learn? But when you look around, these qualities or traits people have that you would look up to, maybe is not the best type of qualities that you feel that you would want to have.
Oof.
So that, I feel like that's why that is the biggest one of my heart truths.
Or the things that made you change, it changed you to look at people differently.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it does make you look at people differently, especially when your elders say one thing and do another.
Yeah.
They react on certain, they'll tell you how to react, but when it happens to them, you see them react a different way. So there's conflict in those type of stories, because you're like, I'm not so concerned about what you say. I'm more concerned about what you do, so I can learn how to walk this out and how it looks. Then you start looking at people's character. It does change you. It change how you see people. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this as well. How it changed me is it does change how you see people. It changed how you come to them for advice. Honestly, you start being more reserved about what you're going through, and you're not talking as much because it messed you up when you saw how their characteristics in certain situations and what they told you to do and what they didn't do. It was a conflict. So you're like, hold up, wait, I can't really look at you like that anymore. And so it's an internal battle, because you may still be dealing with that family member or that elder or that person that you respect, but internally you really don't rock with them like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the ground start breaking up for you, because sometimes we're not strong enough to say, okay, these are the fine lines now. You kind of keep rubbing those lines until it start blowing up in your face.
Yeah, that's right.
Another question: what helped you to accept it instead of resist it?
Because I realized that God put people around me in place of it. Because I realized that, just because someone has a title, you still got to kind of put in work for that title. You still got to do things and show traits of love that make that title still relevant. Just because you say that, you're my this or you're my that, it still really doesn't make it that much true if you don't show those qualities or really have those traits. So when you step back and realize, oh, God put this person around me that I could learn life lessons from, and is really telling the truth. And this might be your next door neighbor or your friend. So when you realize that God is never gonna leave you empty, He's gonna give you things that either replace it, but what does He say? He said He can do exceedingly and abundantly all you can ask or think. So He's not gonna just replace it. He might just, instead of giving you a brick, He might give you a whole building.
The question for me is the same question: what helped me accept it instead of resist it? It was a process, because I didn't automatically just always accept it. I just kept going back, and until I bumped my head. I wasn't listening to that nudge inside, or that Holy Spirit just guided me in telling me what to do at that particular time. But I kept going until I couldn't go anymore. Until the truth, it literally smacked you in your face. It's one of those things that you somebody keep hurting you in a certain area, you ain't gonna be able to keep on taking the same hurt. If it look like a duck and it act like a duck,
it's a duck.
It's not a bird, it's a duck. You know what I'm saying? So once I started looking at what I was experiencing with certain people and in certain instances and certain events, that's when I started learning that if it looks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a duck. So that's what made me stop resisting it.
I feel like as soon as we realize that most knockouts don't happen from hitting different parts of the body, most knockouts happen from hitting the same place.
Oof.
So if you keep on leaving that spot open for somebody to just take and take and take, or hit you and disrespect you over and over and over again, you might feel like you can handle it, but you're going to eventually conk out.
Yes. And disrespect, you can't come back from. You can't come back. Once people start disrespecting you and don't get it corrected, once they start doing it, it's difficult for you to for them to see you a different way. So disrespect, you have to handle it immediately, wherever it happens at, in front of whoever it happens to. If you don't do it, it will continue, and every time every time that it continues, your value with that person drops lower and lower and lower and lower, and that's gonna hurt. Next question: did it make you see yourself or others differently? I think we answered that in the first.
Yeah, we did.
But you can elaborate.
It really puts things in perspective. Number one, I'm gonna answer the question, and that is yes. But number two, I'm gonna say, it makes you really view titles differently, because.
Can I ask you a question? When you say titles, can you give us examples?
Oh, I know. I'm about to get into it now. And this is not calling out anybody. I'm just saying the name of the title. Just because you might have the title of a mom or something, it really doesn't mean that you truly are if you're not sowing good seeds into the soil for your offspring. Oof. If you continually disrespect it or not really try to build it up. So when you realize, things are not really what you wanted it to be, or what, you wanted it to be, or how you've seen that they were, you start looking around you and realize how many titles, how many people in this room genuinely deserve their spot, and how many people we just let them come in our room of luxury and love and endurance just because they have that title.
Oof. You woke up this morning, you said you weren't playing.
No, that's just.
Ooh, that right there, that is the truth. People can have the titles of mother, grandmother, brother, sister, husband. They can have all of these titles and not really fulfilling that role. And not fulfilling a role in an elaborate sense of exaggerated sense. Sometimes people are not being loving.
Yeah.
And people are gossiping about you and telling lies about you, and that is your parent, and that is your husband, and that is your child. You have to call it out for what it really is. People are talking to you in a disrespectful tone or cursing you. You have to call that what it is. If you would normally deal with that with a stranger or a friend, family, just because a person calls themselves family, it doesn't mean that you should be taking that from family. If your baseline is love, respect, empathy, helping each other, caring about each other, if that's your baseline, then that baseline goes for any relationship. The needle shouldn't move based on a title. And it shouldn't take family to try to rewrite your baseline, and they have to keep moving because they're your family. It can hurt you. It can really hurt you and cause you to deal with some pain that you literally, it's hard to come out of.
You know, it was one thing I had to realize. It shouldn't have to take somebody dying for somebody that you love to come check on you and see how you're doing.
Yeah. True. Shouldn't have to show up at funerals. Shouldn't have to show up at hospitals. It shouldn't have to show up at an event that a catastrophe that caused everybody to come together. Shouldn't, but it does. I totally agree. I don't have anything to say to that question because I agree with you wholeheartedly. I probably would have just reiterated the same things that you said. All right, so we always have our 3 points before we go out. We have 3 points to help you guys with dealing with hard truths. Our first point is accept reality isn't the same as agreeing with it.
That's really good.
Accept reality. You have to accept it. Doesn't mean that you agree. Doesn't mean that you automatically, oh, I forgive you and I'm moving forward. Doesn't mean that we're doing life together. Look at the situation for what it really is. Going back to my duck analogy. If it looks like a duck, it acts like a duck, it's a duck. It's not a bird. It's not an eagle. It's a duck. As soon as you're able to accept it, then you'll be able to get the strategy. And you'll be able to pray to God and call what you actually seen out. And he'll be able to give you the strategy and the principles to move in the way that he wants you to move. But if you call that duck a bird or an eagle, you're gonna be living in delusion.
And you're not hurting nobody but yourself.
Yeah, true. One thing about that, the person who's hurting you, they have already accepted and committed to the strategy of continuing.
That's right.
I promise you, the person that is disrespecting you, the person that is showing you that they have no care in the world about you, they're committed to show you that every time that you come into contact with them. So accept reality. The next point, you can elaborate on this one. It's choosing your peace over denial. Why is it important to choose peace over denial?
It's gonna be funny how some of us, you feel better. Like the second I started understanding that not everybody could come with me, or everything is, some things are seasonal, or I've been seeing these things for a long time, and it's time for me to finally move on it. I feel better because I'm not thinking about what they said, what he said, what she said, because those people around me, the ones that really love me, are the ones my main focus should really go to.
And I love what you said just now about thinking about what they said. Those head arguments, as soon as you start having those head arguments, or you are thinking back on what was said and how you should have said it, and the next time you come in contact with them, what you should say, that's when you need to start evaluating that relationship. Those head arguments are bombs. They are clues. Something was literally dropped that caused your disruptive. Your spirit is disruptive. Inside your mind is disruptive because something hurt you to the point where you thinking about it. When you leave from an event, or when you leave from an area that brought you joy, and you felt so much love, you don't have head bonds.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have head bonds at all. If you think about it, you may smile or chuckle, or you may even share a joke that you guys was talking about, because you have happiness in your heart and joy in your heart. But when you leave from an area and you sit, the first thing that you do is, I wonder what they meant when they said that.
Oh, that's the worst.
When you start asking yourself questions like that, and you didn't have the courage to ask those questions in that moment, you need to evaluate that relationship. So, choosing your peace over denial is going to help you so much. It goes right back to acceptance. You gotta accept it. And the last one, find the purpose in the pain. If you're gonna go through all of this, if I have to go through this anyway, if I have to eat healthy and choose healthy choices, I want to get in that size. I want to be able to look at myself in the mirror and say, oh, I look good because I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
I'm doing the work. If I want to get a certain position at my job, I'm going to follow the steps to get there. And when I do get it, I'm not shocked. Oh, I can't believe I got the position. No, you were working towards that.
That's true.
So try to remove yourself from regret and, oh, I should have always knew. Ask God, change your whole perspective and say, God, since I had to go through this, whether I put myself in this, whether I was delusional about it, it doesn't matter. Since you allowed me to go through this and I didn't die, what was the purpose?
That's true.
What lessons I have to learn? What I need to write down so moving forward, I don't choose people like this to be in my life.
That's true.
You have anything else you're going to say about this before I wrap it up?
No, you said exactly what needed to be said.
So, dealing with hard truths, you want to make sure that you accept it. You do not deny it. And you find the purpose.
Sure.
I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. We are now moving into one of our favorite part of our segment, which is tight motivation.
While I was doing this, while we all were talking, God dropped, because this is how it is. Every podcast, none of this is scripted. Mm-hmm. God dropped these things into my spirit. As we were talking today, I had a vision of a driving car. Have you ever saw those cars with all those cameras that let you know, your blind spots you're able to see? Mm-hmm. My quote for today is, please protect your blinders. Because your blinders could not only be if you're not accepting something. Your blinders could also be if you continuously allowing a car crash every time you come in contact with a specific person. Mm-hmm. Protect your blinders. You might have the most loving spirit in the world, but at your core, you are a human. And just like our bodies will go dust to dust and go to heaven to be up with the King, it's the same thing with our mental space. Yep. So if you don't protect your mental space and allow yourself to get beaten, it will change your life forever. Because just like your physical body will have injuries, your mental will be on crutches. Ooh. So please, watch out for your blinders. I rest my case.
That right. I don't know what you woke up on. I don't know if you had your coffee. I don't know if you went to bed last night with something, but you woke up with some power today. Thank you for that. Now it's time for me to kick him out. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. My favorite part, the reason why I do this podcast, the reason why I agree to this is my love letter to my son. This is the only reason why I do this podcast. This is my turn to write my love letter verbally to my son.
I love y'all. This your boy Terrence Titan. We having a lot of difficulties, but don't worry. We're coming back. We're coming back like a bad habit. All right.
It is. And it's, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Son, I really, really, really enjoyed doing this topic with you today. I did not know that you were wise in this particular area. But it brings me great joy to hear that you understanding relationships. I know I brought you up with a lot of love in your heart. And I never wanted to teach you hate, because the world is full of hate. That's not something that needs to be taught. That's something that if you don't watch it, it'll try to get in your heart. Always stay open, because people always gonna people. Don't worry about that. But God is gonna send you a few that is from Him, and you want to stay open for them. You're going to have gifts inside you to give to them, and they're going to have gifts inside of them to give to you. Don't allow negative relationships or negative ending relationship cause you to build up walls. Always accept what you're dealing with. Ask God for a strategy or solution. Be forgiving. Move forward, because there's billions of people out here in this world, and God have particular people that's on this planet for you. Thank you so much for listening. I am Brain. This is World on the Move. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.